Now, on 7th of every month, we have something called a small social audit. So, an officer appointed by the collector will reach there. All the people know that on that day, the Nigrani Samiti people and the collector's representative is there. So, all those people who have complaints, they will also gather. And now, many other departments have started converging with it. If health department has to distribute something, or some other department, women and child welfare has to do something, there is a Chawal Utsav every month on the 7th in every shop. So that makes some kind of an audit possible. And we have started assessing the districts on the basis of their performance. And these are the marks, these are the indicators how we give them marks. The green ones are the best districts. And this is opened by the Chief Secretary and the Chief Minister every month. So the collectors are also very jittery that they should not be in the yellow or blue category. They want to do better. So there is an assessment of all the collectors, constant on various parameters. Now we are in the process of starting. We have started the pilot. By next month it will roll out to the whole district. We are computerizing each and every liter distribution of kerosene in the state. As soon as this truck goes to the bulk depot of IOC or HPC or BPC and takes 12,000 liters, the point of sale device will tell us that this truck has got 12,000 liters of kerosene. And all the fair price shops, all 10,800 have been given a card like this. So when the truck reaches the shop, the shopkeeper will insert his card, the truck driver will insert his card, and then after the swiping, suppose he gives 3,000 liters, he has to key in 3,000 liters. Immediately on our server, we will find out of 12,000 liters of this truck number, 3,000 liters has been decanted at such and such point, at such and such shop. Because all shops, latitudes and longitudes are with us. So this has started in 3 districts. We are going to roll out in the entire state in another 2-3 months. The work is on. This is a very good initiative started by us about 6 years ago, and this is called Dal Bhat Kendra. We are running some 142 of them. For 5 rupees, any person can go and eat to his satisfaction. And this is being run by most of the NGOs. And you take in any city, a bus stand, a railway station, a hospital, a court, wherever it's a public place, some 20,000 people are being benefited every day, and they can eat to their heart's content for just 5 rupees. This was a very good quote, but in Sanskrit, which has not come. It says the biggest sin for a king is the death of any of his subjects due to hunger. That is our motto. Thank you very much.
Respected sir and esteemed members of the IC Center for Governance, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to elaborate how we have gone about it. I should congratulate Shri Vivek Dhand for giving us an excellent presentation and his government's approach to the whole issue. Sir, when we dwell on this entire problem of implementation of PDS, some philosophical questions went in the back of our mind. As you all know, PDS is for poor. But the fact remains that most of the ills, how do they arise? And I am sure most of us will agree, basically because of collusion among the lower level government staff and the FPS dealers. The primary cause is collusion. For what? For their personal gains at the cost of the poor people. The second issue which arose in our mind, we tried to answer: vigilance, or as we call, oversight. by whom and for whom. We all the time think that our inspector will always do a good job. But does it really happen so in real practice? Every human being, a government servant or a common man, is a human being. He is driven by his own selfish interest, irrespective of the fact at which position he is. If that be the fact of life, that be the fact of life, then why should I only depend upon my inspector to carry out vigilance and tell me that who has done wrong and who has not? So what we thought was, why do we need only our inspectors to do the vigilance? Why can't we empower every single citizen to do the vigilance, not for our sake, but for the sake of his own selfish interest of food security? So this was the second major philosophical thought process which we had. The third point, we are all trying to change. We all talk about management of change. But don't we know that how difficult it is to change ourselves? If I can't change myself, how can I change others? And if that be the fundamental truth, then I cannot change myself. I have to manage the change. How do I manage? I create conditions. I create conditions which compel a person to get into the groove or that induces desired behavior from that person. So I am not asking anybody to change for a moment, but I will create the conditions which will force that person to change. Of course, Dr. B.C. Gupta has said so several times. Political will for reforms, because we are dealing with people, large number of people. They also happen to be the voters, and unless there is a political will, no reform, no change can ever be brought about in such a big system. Yes, in a small organization, in a factory, in a service unit, yes, it's possible. But when you have the entire state and crores of people, political will is a must. Next question which came in our mind was, who should be the owner of reform? Many a times when we think of reform, we think it can be outsourced. We can get some consultant, they will come, they will charge us something on an hourly basis, we have spent so much of rupees. That's how, we always talk about how much money we have spent. We rarely talk about what has been the outcome. We will ask the question of outcome only when we own. So the ownership is a must. So we decided no consultant, no organization other than ourselves will be the owner of this project. Teamwork. When you think of doing such a large scale project, where you want to reform people whom you don't even know, and if you think of the numbers, they are running in lakhs and crores. I have not even seen them, I don't know them, but I want all of them to change, and that change management requires constant innovation, monitoring, and based on the feedback, further innovation. So I needed a team of people who were so committed. They are not paid on hourly basis. There were no great people coming down from some PwC or Ernst & Young, not those varieties, because they are only commercial or money-driven guys, So I had to form a team, very small team, basically committed to the cause, not to the money. And the last point, how do I design a reform process? Because I am dealing with several thousands and lakhs of people whose selfish interests are getting short-circuited, eliminated, so they all become enemy of the reform process. So my system design should be such that whether they like it, they don't like it, the system survives, the design survives. So these were, few of the philosophical parameters, and this entire project we started executing since April 2010, so we have not spent several years. Now I'll rush through my presentation. So with this background, my presentation will cover, right from overview till the future roadmap. We are still a work in progress. We have not finished the work, but I have given the timelines that we will be finishing our project. So we have 26 districts, 6 crore population, 112 lakh ration card holders, 32 lakh BPL card holders, 16,000 pay price shops, FCI godowns in 17 districts, civil supply godowns, as Hansa said, we also have civil supply intermediate godowns in every block, most of the block, not in all. And our annual turnover of food grains is of the order of 16 lakh metric tons. And we spend something like 250 crores as subsidy. Everything starts with a vision. So our vision was empowerment of beneficiary, transparency in TPDS, and innovation in the governance process, which we will see very soon. And this vision was accompanied with the objectives. So as Honorable Prabhat Kumar said, it has to be linked to the identification, so that we can eliminate bogus cards, duplicate cards. We have to focus on classification so that we minimize exclusion and inclusion errors, and we ensure delivery of food grains. The most important point is how do you ensure? That means we minimize diversion and leakages. At the level of FPS, we said our objective is that we should be able to capture each and every transaction, and we should be able to do updated record keeping. It is all linked to logistics. That means how much quantities are still left, how much I have to transport from civil supply go down to the FPS. So efficiency of logistics improve management. Accountability, very important aspect. Every single person managing the system, whether the shopkeeper, whether the executive officer in our block administration or the district officer, every single level there has to be accountability. So you should be able to identify who has done wrong, when that wrong has been done, and what action he will be subjected to. And we realize that ultimately it is the transparency which will give final, or you can say extreme or most desirable level of empowerment to the society as a whole. I'll make a pictorial demo of as to exactly what we are doing or how we started with. What we did was, there were so many bogus cards and fake ration cards. So you can't go door to door and say who is bogus and who is not. So difficult. So what we did was we devised entirely a new format of application and requested all our cardholders that we will send enumerators to your houses and we will give you a new ration card. Please fill up this form, and we help the cardholders in filling up the new format. Once we filled up the form, we took up the digitization of the form, and what we did was, because we don't have UID as of now, we said we have election voter list. An election commission for last 15-16 years has given almost epic cards to 90-95% population, the eligible voter population of the state. The beauty of voter list is that I don't have to monitor it. It has to be monitored by the stakeholders, that means political parties, whether voter list is in proper shape or not. So a person, whether he is fake, duplicate, bogus, non-existent, we found, that most of the time election list is probably the most accurate account of the adult, franchisees living in an area for all practical purposes. Census we do only once in 10 years. So we have the process of matching of the voter ID details of each adult family member of the ration cards family. Now when we go and distribute this new ration card, we ask the person to give the biometric, as you can see in the first photograph. Then, and take the camera will capture the photo of that person, and we print out a barcoded ration card. And this barcoded ration card is handed over to the cardholder in lieu of the old ration card. Now the person has got his new ration card, and how exactly the delivery process takes place, that I will explain now. Here is a person with his ration card. This is how the ration card looks like. As you can see in the bottom portion of the ration card printout, we have linked every single person with the elector's photo identity card number. So this is what is basically an addition to what we were having earlier, and a barcode, which helps in capturing the card's information. Now, one more initiative which government of Gujarat took almost 4-5 years ago was to provide broadband connectivity to every single village panchayat. And that was possible because of another scheme called Jyotirgam Yojana. State government decided to separate out electricity feeders. The agriculture feeders will be separated out from the residential feeders. As a result, all village panchayats are now getting 24/7 electricity because it is separate from agriculture feeder, where you have to put some knobs. So government provided broadband connectivity through VSAT, computer, printer, and this operator is actually village computer entrepreneur. So he has to earn on his own. He is not paid any salary from the government account. We provided him with the barcode reader and a biometric device. Now this beneficiary goes to that e-gram center, which is housed in the village panchayat building. So actually gram panchayat is the owner of this center for all practical purposes. This person submits his barcoded ration card. The barcode reader will read the details of the ration card holder. Then he will put his biometric, he'll give his biometric thumb impression, and this is verified online because this center is connected through VSAT with the help of broadband through our central server. Once the verification is complete, we generate coupons. And the beneficiary gets back his ration card as well as a coupon, and this is what the coupon looks like. The beauty of this coupon is, as you can see, it is for each commodity that the beneficiary is entitled, beginning with wheat, rice, kerosene, sugar, iodized salt, so on and so forth. This coupon has got barcodes on extreme sides. In the middle, it is the copy of the beneficiary, what we say that cardholder's copy. And these coupons contain all those details, at what price, how much quantity, for which month, from which shopkeeper. And the beneficiary has a choice, he can select the FPS dealer of his choice, at the time of collecting the coupons. So that choice also he can make. He goes to a ration shop with the ration card as well as the coupon sheet, tears away the coupon of the commodity which he intends to buy, hands over the coupon and the ration card and the money printed as printed on the coupon, collects the commodity and gets back. Now what happens? At the end of the month, the FPS dealer has collected large number of coupons of various commodities. He also goes back to the e-gram center once again. And each one of those coupons is read because there is a barcode on that coupon also. So no manual data entry is required. Because once you do any manual data entry, that means there will be some scope for error. So there is no scope for error because machine is just reading the barcode on the coupon. So at the end of the month, he has got all those barcoded coupon read into the machine. Machine is connected to my central server. There I am, getting this entire set of information, to whom, how much quantity has been sold. Now this is what we propose, that the FPS dealer need not go to any block level supply office because he has already disclosed all that information, all transaction related information, and it is stored in my server. Now he puts his biometric and collects his permit for various commodities that he is supposed to get from the godown the next month. So he is collecting his permit. He goes to the civil supply godown. when he gets all those commodities loaded onto the truck and the issue receipt is issued, the SMS alert will be sent to the cardholders purchasing mobile phones in that FPS dealer's area. That so and so truck has left with PDS commodities of your FPS dealer. This portion is under implementation as of now, but pictorially I am demonstrating it. This is what is the flow chart. So as you can see, this entire system makes use of the governance innovation, the technology, the infrastructure. It is in a feedback loop, as you can see. So what has been our solution matrix? I'll just summarize it quickly. So we do identity management with the help of elector's photo identity card number, biometric data of at least one adult member of the beneficiary family. Classification. Our approach has been convergence of beneficiary families' socio-economic data. What is that data? It is already with us. BPL data of Rural Development Department, electricity connection data, LPG number, land holding status. So once you have this information about a family, you can almost accurately figure out whether the family should be in the BPL list or outside BPL list. Delivery, as we saw in the pictorial demo, we are using food coupons for ensuring actual delivery. Record keeping, because that barcoded coupon is being read, so we know record keeping. We are also doing centralized record keeping for each FPS dealer. Logistics efficiency, once you aggregate this entire record keeping, then you come to know how much sale has actually taken place, how much replenishment has to be done. So our logistics efficiency also improves. Transparency, we have seen SMS alerts. We are going to put out all that information, FPS dealer wise, how many cards and how many members of the family on the website. Accountability. At each stage, as you have seen, whether the issue of ration card has to be biometrically authenticated, whether issue of coupons, biometrically authenticated, receipt of permit is biometrically authenticated. So nobody can escape his or her responsibility, because in the central system I know exactly who has used his biometric impression for authenticating the transaction. Last point, but very important point. Why should all these people participate in the design of the system that we are putting across? Why should they? So there has to be an appropriate risk-reward system. Otherwise, they may all, as well boycott the system. Project ownership as a part of implementation strategy. We are the owner. We decided no more smart card, because the moment you bring in all these technology guys, they overtake us, because they, in their zeal of marketing, because their job is not to see that my project works or not. Their job is to sell their cars. So we thought, let's keep all these technology guys slightly further away. We'll call them or we'll ask them to help us when we actually need them. So we avoided as many complicated technology components as possible. Authentication, as we saw through all biometrics. Market orientation. So our system provides a choice between the food coupon. The same food coupon can be used as a cash coupon. Choice of FPS. The second major point. A person should not be permanently tied to only one particular FPS, because that gives rise to monopolies. And monopolies always are not only restrictive but also exploitative. We are implementing the system for last 8-9 months. We, as you saw, said there is no technology at FPS level, because we realize technology will go against the interest of FPS. So he will be the first person to do away with the technology. He will say whether the point of sale terminal is not working or something has gone into it. And every time we cannot run our maintenance engineer to every village now and then. So no technology at FPS level. Technology is only at village panchayat level, where under that common service center scheme also Government of India has funded setting up CSCs. Codification has to precede solution development. That means, as a government, I have to issue government orders, government resolutions before I expect anyone to obey my dictate. And then only the software development and the system design will take place. Solution development by NIC. Again, the same argument which I made this is why I don't want any private sector to come and dominate me, because his interests are absolutely commercial interests. NIC has no commercial interest with the state government whatsoever. Luckily for us, we found some very committed group of engineers, NIC engineers, and they have huge network of people in all the districts. So technical manpower is readily available. But small, low-end IT work we are outsourcing to private companies, where they have no role to play so far as the design of the system is concerned. The entire architecture is centralized, but all operations are decentralized. So no decision-making software is at the local level, everything is at the central level. Demand aggregation, we are starting with cardholder and the FPS, that is the constituent unit, and we aggregate everything, and then we do allocation at the state level, and as you have seen, issue of permit is at the decentralized level only. We minimize the project rollout cost and time. And this we did, because another very ambitious scheme of Government of India called National E-Governance Plan, under which they have provided a wide area network to each state. They have set up state data center. They have provided common service centers. So we did not make any investment into all those things because those are already existing in the state. This is part of the technical thing. I will skip it. So our solution is UID compatible. It provides the facility of roaming ration card. Basically what it means is anybody possessing a ration card in the state can go to any shop anywhere in the state and avail the subsidized commodities. Choice of grain, as we improve the quality of PDS mechanism and more grains are made available or additional commodities are made available, our system permits any number of commodities you can add on to. In our wildest of estimates, the capital cost will not exceed 80 crores and recurring cost will be of the order of 25 crore rupees per annum. And this entire project is being funded out of the state budget. Where do we stand now? So we have done more than actually 55 lakh when I wrote, actually we have crossed 65 lakh as on today. We have digitized such forms. We have issued 89,000 barcoded ration cards in 25 districts. 121 fair price shops are actually operating the way what you saw in the pictorial demo. What we did was, for each block we said, let one shop be selected and this entire system should be rolled out so that our local people also get trained in the process and know what will be done in future. And another 70 fair price shops are ready to switch over to biometric based system. And as on August ending, we had 30,000 cardholders of 22 districts actually getting barcoded coupons issued in their name and submitting it to the shops. What we have gained in the process? Ghan Sahab said some 2 odd lakh cards were found to be bogus. We detected 14 lakh people who did not come forward for applying for the new ration card. So we did away with those 14 lakh cards. Our efficiency, distribution efficiency went up by almost 10%. In all these pilot shops, we found that now I don't need to send any inspector whatsoever because every single beneficiary is the inspector so far as I am concerned. Because he goes and uses his biometric, he collects his coupon. If he decides to procure food grain from the FPS, he goes and submits it. If he doesn't want to, then he neither gets a coupon nor goes and submits it. So I don't have to send any inspector to the shop as of now. And I could do analysis, individual cardholder wise analysis. And to my surprise, I found that those people who have received BPL cards, only 70% of them were actually collecting coupons and collecting the food grain. So that means still, that inclusion exclusion process is still there. So this process, as you can see, covering entire population of the state. We have 1 crore, more than 1 crore applications, and we have to match every single family's, at least one member's detail with the electoral roll. That means the epic detail. Then we have to do distribution of barcoded ration cards, and at that point of time we have to capture their biometric, photographs. again, this is a very, very time-consuming and painstaking exercise. Another set of challenges will come or are likely to come in terms of operationally viable e-grams, because all villages are not big villages, there are smaller villages also. So we have to make sure that the operator gets reasonable compensation, and the computer is in working condition and should be available within reasonable distance of habitation. It may so happen the e-gram is at a separate location and FPS is at some other location, but within the same village. Now, leakages and diversion has, sir, I'm going to say the same shop which was taking, let's say 100 quintal of food grain from me last year, the pilot shop, sir, now is taking only 50% of the food grain. So in pilot shops, I observed 50% of the savings. Now the question is, if that be the scale of diversion earlier, then by all means that shopkeeper has become absolutely unviable, because everything is authenticated by the beneficiary and he has no means to indulge in leakage and diversion now. So we have to make every single FPS viable, and for that we are thinking why not compensate that FPS dealer on transaction basis. So for every transaction of giving, let us say 5 kg of wheat or 1 kg of sugar or 1 packet of salt, let me give him transaction wise compensation. That is what our local kirana store does. For everything that he sells, he has a margin of some 5%, 7%, 10%, and that is how he runs the shop. So we are planning that kind of compensation mechanism. And the last point is very important, sir. As we had anticipated in the beginning, my own civil supply staff is showing kind of absolutely passive approach to this entire process. Naturally, because they are also in the process, what's affected.
Yes.
Their discretion has been minimized, their accountability has gone up several times. They are trying to delay, but that's okay. So the roadmap is following. We will complete the digitization work by next month, and we will give priority to identity verification of Antyodaya and BPL category households, and very optimistically we aim to complete this entire project by March 2012. As we complete issuance of barcoded ration cards to the beneficiaries in a particular FPS area, we will switch it over to the barcoded coupon system. In due course, we will introduce this coupon system for nutrition programs also, like ICDS, MDM, where again the focus has to be on delivery. If delivery has been made, then probably you can hope some improvement in their nutrition status. Why, despite PDAS, MDM and ICDS, still malnutrition rate is 50% in our country? I think we all have to collectively answer this question. Somewhere we are failing in actual delivery, and that is what this entire solution is aiming to ensure. Thank you so much.